Next video I'm recording for you is going to be about pentatonics, and kind of like what we're talking about with the C major scale, that learning all the notes on the scale helps you learn all the different patterns in the positions. So right now we're going to learn the main positions for a pentatonic scale. So we'll start with the minor pentatonic, which is the most commonly used, and then we'll go to the major pentatonic, which we did in another video. But then there's two other like modes or patterns that go along with it. So let's go over the first, the minor pentatonic. Pretty easy, fifth position, 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 basically. Major 2 4 2 2 4 1 4 1 4 1 3 2 4 2 4. That's our major pentatonic. Now you'll notice they're really close to each other, right? And you'll also notice if you said the letter names, A C D E G A, major, C D E G A C. Exact same notes, and if you think about it, it's basically for this pentatonic scale, we have the notes A, C, D, E, G. Those 5 notes. Basically, I'm taking those 5 notes and playing it in 2 octaves, but I'm putting them in different places, different starting points. Rather than starting on A, I start on C. And this is like a different mode or pattern within the same 5 notes. We call this the major, and we call this the minor, but it's, yeah, there's 5 of them, so there's 3 other patterns we have. So that's one pattern, that's a second pattern. Let's go to the second position. This is a pretty easy, it's basically 2 4 2 4, 1 4 1 4, 2 4 2 4. And it's the same exact notes, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, same exact 5 notes. That's one pattern. That's 3 now. Another one we could do is basically in the open string patterns, or in our opening position. It would be 3 0 3 1 2 0 2 0 3 0 3 0. Exact same notes. E G A C D E. Same exact notes, right? So that's the one in notes, same exact notes, but in a different position. And we'd call this like our E position, right? So this is like our third mode. We have 5 modes. We have our first mode and our second mode. We just did a third mode, and now we're doing the fourth mode right there. There is one last mode, and people name these modes different ways. I kind of tend to think, C major is our first mode. And the weird thing is the notes are, generally in modes, we have 7 notes. So we go, okay, first mode, second mode, third mode, fourth mode, fifth mode, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, the 7 technical names for the modes. But I'm trying to make it simple. So since we're only using the 5 notes out of our major scale, we're using C and D. So Ionian and Dorian, first and second mode. We don't, first and second mode, we use Phrygian. So Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian. We use Mixolydian, which is the 5th note of the C major scale, and then we use Aeolian. So that's it. So I'd probably just say Dorian pentatonic, Ionian pentatonic. That'd be our Ionian pentatonic, and then this would be our Aeolian pentatonic, or just minor pentatonic, most people will call it. But if you want to know the modes of it, then the G would be our Mixolydian mode of pentatonic. And then E would be our Phrygian mode. Right? And then the last one, the 5th one, would be our Dorian mode. And that's pretty much most of the modes we have to do. Let's go through the whole part of that last scale. So this last mode, or the 5th mode of the pentatonic, and then it all just repeats after the 12th fret. So you know all the different patterns for pentatonic scale that are based in C or A minor, and kind of use those interchangeably. So the last mode goes like this. 3 1 4 1, shift back, 4 1 4 2 4 2 4 2. People will use alternating fingerings, or they might just use 1 and 3 the whole time. I think that can be useful, especially for the first 4 strings. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, shift, stretch back first finger, 1, 3, and then maybe 1, 4 here, 1, 4, 1, 3. So that's a different way you could think about it. So those are all the modes, just in the first 12 frets, but basically all the modes, because then after that it just repeats. If you had more frets, but it repeats as many frets as you have left. So yeah, those are all the modes. There's 5 modes. The first 2 main being the major and the minor scale mode, the C major pentatonic and the A minor pentatonic, 5th position and 7th position. The other modes are basically like, well, we could say auxiliary modes, but those other modes are also useful because they're still the exact same notes. So if you want to learn to play in this scale and play all around the fingerboard to kind of get different sounds, it's a great way to go about it. Of course, this is always movable. So let's say I wanted to be in D major. I could do the same thing here. I'm in the note D. Here's E, 12th fret, go back, D. So, and then I'd go to its minor pentatonic, which would be B. I'm just playing 1 octave, not 2 octave pentatonic scales. And then continue. So you know all the patterns for that position. It's movable. So if someone's like, oh, I want you to play in, I guess, let's say B major pentatonic, and you're going to be doing this kind of like, and someone's playing like a jazz tune, and you can start to then add the notes that are also belonging to the chord and or scale. So pentatonics are a great way to learn because it's just like C major. You can learn to fill in the rest of the notes. In the other video I made, you had C major, and I was like, well, you can fill in all the black notes now in between. So hope that helps. I know that some of these videos are getting a little longer. Trying to make them under 10 minutes, especially if they're just too much information. I think over 10 minutes is probably too much information. So I hope that was helpful. We basically went over the 5 different starting points of your pentatonic scale, because there's 5 notes. You can start from any of those 5 notes and build different patterns and how they look and feel on the guitar. But essentially, you're just playing the same 5 notes. Seems easy enough, but I got all these different patterns that make it seem a lot harder. Okay, hope that helps, and have a good rest of your day. Keep on practicing.